What is the king of the mountains? Is it a heavyweight, hard-hitting e-mountain bike, or is it something skinny, light and tight? Chris Opie.
And the gravel bike. This is eMTB versus gravel.
Chris, there has been some king-size talk of these gravel bikes in recent months. They've been heralded as the new great all-rounder, enabling you to do everything from tarmac roads to gravel roads to fire roads to single track. But ultimately, I just see people riding these down badly maintained roads, the kind you find in, I don't know, middle of Los Angeles or somewhere.
Yeah, or out here in mid-Wales in the Black Mountains. I think you've underestimated just how capable these machines are. Today I've borrowed an Orbea Terra from Si over on GCN, and it's got 40mm gravel tyres on it, Terra speed tyres. We've also got hydraulic discs, something which all bikes should have really by now. We've got SRAM force gears, 22 speed, wireless shifting. Whoa. No cables to snag, and it looks ultra sleek, I reckon. Yeah. Super slack head angle, 70 degrees.
You do like your head angles, don't you?
Well, I mean, it's worth mentioning.
And you did say that it was a flying machine that would tear my time apart.
Yeah, I might be eating those words later. It's a gravel bike, but it's basically a road bike adapted to ride off-road, isn't it?
Yeah, well, my bike also has fancy carbon fibre and disc brakes. However, it has rims and wheels and tyres that are actually in the 21st century, not the 20th century. But not only that, it has 150mm travel, but crucially, it has that long-range 700 watt-hour battery and that motor, which is going to get me up those punchy climbs. But the bottom line is, if you're going to the mountains, right, you should have a mountain bike, not a city bike. I need a piss.
Nice. Hey, hang on, before you go, can you do this with yours?
Oh, crikey. Weights, how much is that?
7.8 kilos, Steve.
Oh, crikey. 20.
Can you even lift yours?
20.
So I checked out the route that you sent me, Steve. 2,275 metres of climbing and descending, 16 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot, considering it says it's going to take us 3 hours to complete. And as much as I do fancy doing a 3-hour time trial, I've always wanted to do an enduro-style stage race. And so I think we should break the route down into little stages and race those instead.
Little but hard stages, Chris, and I think it's got all that, so why not? Let's do that. But you will not have read the small print of my script. It says that this bike will be unsure of its ability and its identity in a land that is really made for...
Sheep. There are literally sheep as far as the eye can see and as far as your ears can hear. I've never seen so many of them.
Rightio then, Chris, let's start where both of us are equally comfortable, on the tarmac and next to a pub. The Red Lion, free house and home cooking. Well, Chris, I reckon this is going to be the part where you've got free speed. First part of the journey is largely tarmac for, I reckon, about 20 minutes on my bike with my super taggy tyres and big volume tyres, whereas you've got super skinny, full lycra, aerodynamic.
See, I reckon it's going to be nearer 15 for me, Steve, because it doesn't really weigh any more than my normal road bike anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's you got on those?
So these legs, 1,600 watts. Admittedly, only for a few seconds at a time. I reckon
1,600 watts.
Yeah. Well, I had a misspent youth on a bike, didn't I?
Holy! I mean, I've got 250 watts average, but it does peak at about 500 to 600. But I think that's gonna. Yeah, it's not bad, but it's not 1,600.
The only thing that worries me is you've got 90 newton meters of torque, and I happen to know that 90 newton meters of torque is pretty much the best I've ever done for 6 minutes.
Let's crack on with the tarmac stage. That's ridiculous!
You're looking fast, Steve. Oh. Worryingly.
Oh, I've got to say, were you chasing the sheep there or the fastest stage time? Whatever way, I was after you and the sheep.
I'm not sure what to say to that. It was an
you-
unexpected obstacle. I know you promised we would see some sheep. But
Yeah. I've got to say one thing. I do agree the 25 kilometers an hour restriction can be a hindrance if you're racing e-mountain bikes, but we're not racing most of the time, except for today, and trying to keep it just on the 25Ks was really, really physical.
Yeah,
Because
I
if you
bet.
go beyond the 25K, you're actually into no man's land where you put in a huge amount of effort into a 20 kilo bike with a 90 kilo rider, and I'm chasing an 80 kilo rider on a lightweight skinny bike.
Yeah, and so my strategy, knowing that you could only do 25 k's an hour with assistance.
Strategy.
Yeah, I put a lot of thought into this, Steve. It's important to me that I win. I tried to
Me
go
too.
at 26 k's an hour the entire time.
Right.
But I promised that was equally tough because it wasn't as flat as you'd made it out to be.
So the scores and doors, what do you reckon on the first run? I reckon you've got that by a considerable margin.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out of breath anymore, which kind of implies that I might have the edge there.
However, this is where we transition from tarmac to gravel, and that being a gravel bike,
Yeah.
you should now be in your element. We're onto a farm track, bit of a punchy climb.
Well, that's what's got me worried because actually in the start of there, on the road segment, you weren't that far behind me.
I did push a little bit too hard.
But I'm now worried that if you can maintain anything like that going up there, I'm going to be suffering.
There's only one way to find out.
Oh, Steve, looking good. You've been here that long. You've grown a moustache.
Was that gravel enough for you?
I'm a little bit disappointed. You just disappeared.
Well, there is a tipping point, isn't there, where
Yeah.
an e-mountain bike becomes faster than the gravel bike and vice versa. And I think we're such a short way into this journey, we've yet to find out that tipping point.
It's made me nervous for the rest of the race, that's for sure.
Well, I suggest we get now onto that open mountain where it's a mixture of smooth single track and bog. Wow.
That moustache gets bigger every time I see you, Steve.
As the years roll by,
Oh,
I started doing poetry.
really?
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
I don't know, 5 minutes.
No, you haven't.
I have, yeah. But,
I gave that everything.
I mean, 5 minutes between friends, what's that? That's nothing.
Well, our relationship stepped up a level. I didn't realise we were friends now. That's nice. That's a start.
But, you know, at the end of the day, I put maximum effort into that.
Yeah.
You certainly did put maximum effort.
I did,
I'm just
yeah.
looking at the watts here. Are you serious?
357.
That's, I mean...
And I had to get off at one point
Right.
to go through a bog.
Yeah. But look, we're 3 stages in, right?
Yep.
I'm sure you might going to be pulling back some time on this next section, steep bank.
I reckon I can stay on the bike longer than you can because of, well, your angles, they're all wrong, Steve.
Okay.
But I've got a little secret something up my sleeve for later.
Like I had a little secret something on my lip.
That's better than that.
It's going to have to be because you're way behind.
Yeah, I know.
Stage 4, we are starting by here to by there.
Is that Welsh for round the mountain?
Kind of, and it starts with a super punchy climb. Let's go. Stop the stage.
Why?
What
Fun in my
the
flow.
hell? So we've come 2,000 feet up a mountain on natural terrain, and then there is this.
Yeah.
Gravel.
Well, if you're wondering why I was looking so tired, I was up here last night with a wheelbarrow and a shovel.
That is just ridiculous.
And we're not even at my secret weapon yet, Steve.
Right, what's that? Oh God, seriously? Do you know I said earlier that we're going to go from over here to over there? Well, there's over there, look.
You can barely see it.
You can barely see it, mind. So gravel is your friend, momentum is your friend.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely had an advantage on that stage.
Do you want to hear a fact? That's actually the first time I've ever used a gravel bike on gravel.
Get out of town.
And to be really honest, I'm still a little bit dubious about these things.
Really?
It felt really good.
Wow. Well, you're fast. I cannot believe how you got up that last climb.
Momentum, Steve.
It's ridiculous.
Momentum.
But Chris, I think you will find that now we start mountain biking.
We've still not been mountain biking then?
No.
Oh, cool. And I've still got my secret weapon.
What? The penultimate stage. I think you'll find this is proper mountain bike single track, Chris. So
Finally, I've been looking forward to this one, Steve.
after you.
No, actually, after you, I'd like you to show me a few of the lines through this top section.
Really?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Okay, right. See you at the bottom.
Yeah, you will.
What are you doing?
Now, unknown to Steve Jones, this is where my little secret weapon comes into play. I've spotted on the maps earlier the smoothest, fastest looking gravel track down this mountain. He has no chance.
I'm wondering if Opie has underestimated the potential of an e-mountain bike across rough terrain. I've been looking at the track which runs parallel to us, which is a really fast fire road, and I can't see them. I have not seen them behind us or ahead of us. So either they are miles ahead or miles behind. What? What? No!
Here he is.
No!
Where have you been?
Well, I tell you what, as Moreland Crossing goes, that was epic.
Yeah.
I can't believe you went down the fire road.
I have never, ever gone that fast off-road before. That was insanely fast.
What?
Tailwind, downhill, smoothest surface you can imagine.
Are you kidding me?
Well worth the shortcut.
Oh, what? What's your time?
Oh, it's only
oh,
you
God,
and you.
what's your time? What's the time? Please tell me your watch didn't stop.
11 minutes.
No, it wasn't. No! No, it wasn't. No, please tell me it wasn't that much.
Go on, what have you got?
17:55.
Ah, yes. That's those magic 5 minutes I've been looking for, and a comfort minute as well.
Fair dues. That
Right.
is epic. And that's exactly what I expect out of a pro sprint cyclist.
70 k's an hour, don't they?
Get out of here.
No, honestly, I was really surprised how fast.
Whoa. Fair dues. So,
You've been talking up this last descent all day.
well, here we go. Here is the last descent. 3, 2, 1, go! Bang! Got me! was mega, whichever way you look at it.
Best run of the day, that final one.
Gravel or mountain bike? Seriously.
I think maybe on that one a mountain bike would have been better.
Well, I tell you what, I was surprised that your 1980s mountain bike with drop handlebars actually performed pretty well.
I think it did help that I grew up riding them. I think you had more fun, Steve.
Do you think so?
Well,
I can't believe how fast you're going down those last descents.
That's only because I couldn't go any slower.
I think you know, what happened today does not surprise me in the least. And I think these bikes are really so good when it comes to gravel roads. And I keep telling people who whinge about the 25k restriction on these bikes, if you're going to go faster on roads or fire roads, get yourself a gravel bike. Because you can, how fast you say you went? 70 mile an hour down that road.
70 k's an hour on that gravel road, which felt pretty fast, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of time where you are over that 25km/h limit.
Yeah.
But only on the gravel roads.
Yeah.
Then you'd probably never think to take that on a gravel road anyway.
I tell you what though, that gravel road you did, I was bog trotting, and that bike is a pretty accomplished bog trotter, I can tell you. Even though I was slower, I think you'd have found it very, very difficult to have ridden that bike.
I honestly think I would have been running.
What was your final time?
My final time, I'm quite proud of it because I feel confident. 1 hour 7 and 11 seconds.
Wait for the old Persia to go past. My time, 1 hour, 6 minutes and 28 seconds. But it was a story of profit and loss, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, all through the day. And like I said, we repeated again, that bike was absolutely lightning down Fire Road.
Yeah.
Obviously, the rider was too.
Yes, he was good.
I think if we did go into more challenging technical terrain, that bike would probably pull away.
Yeah, and it did look like you had more fun, but you disappeared on a couple of those descents. And even some of the technical climbs, actually, where you had traction and I didn't. Yeah,
but disappearing is disappearing, like, at high speed. But anyway, great day out on 2 great bikes. End of story. So there you go. Let's know your thoughts on e-mountain bike versus gravel bike. Chris, had a great day. Great day.
Thank you very much for having me.
We've got the red line really close to us. We can go there in a minute. Let's know your thoughts on the video. And if you want to see more epic rides, have a look at what me and Hannah Barnes did on the Knoydart Peninsula in Scotland, over here. And also the Lake District Epic with Adam Brayton. In the meantime, just click on the globe to subscribe and get even more e-mountain bike videos. So
How
Chris,
about a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video?
I'm looking forward to that next challenge.
I am as well. Next week.
Game on.